What up, YouTube? This is your president, the presidential terrorist, back with another video. I'm here in Bartow, Florida, at the old Polk County Sheriff's Office jail. You might recognize this. I've been here several times over the years for the haunt that they have here every October. Well, I recently filmed about a week ago for the first opening day. Well, I might have mentioned that video. It's going to be the last haunt they're having here, and the main reason is they're finally going to tear this building down. So I'm here to get a tour. With a deputy is going to tour me around, show me the way around, show me like solitary confinement, different aspects. He's going to explain a lot of stuff, and I'm really excited because I heard there's some really cool things in there. And this jail has stopped being like a jail since, I think, since 2000. They still use it for some stuff after, but hasn't been a functioning jail for many years. So while it's not abandoned, they used it for storage. It's abandoned for the purpose of being a jail. It is. So it'll be cool to see how it is. It's basically someplace that's stuck in time, I guess you could say. And fortunately, they're tearing it down because there's going to be a lot of history here, a lot of sad history. And just, yeah, we're going to get a good look at how it is to have been in jail and take a look out. And then we're going to see parts of the haunt with the lights on, so you get a chance to look at that. Can't wait. So you know what that means. Let's get to it. Thanks to the Polk County Sheriff's Office for allowing me to get a tour of this place and film it. Not very many people have done it. So when this place is gone, it's gone forever. There's going to be a lot missing. So I'm glad I'm able to document the best of my ability that I could do it. All right. You know what that means. Let's get to it. I say this is really cool though. So is this like the intake area, or?
Yeah, this is the receiving area where we take in arrestees.
Now, I heard that this was closed down as a jail in 2000. Is that correct?
The jail part was. This booking facility ran until about 3 years ago.
Okay. This is really interesting. So this is where they would like fingerprint you and everything?
Property, receiving, arrest affidavits, all that were here. The body scanner used to be in that room.
Wow. Well, I'll let you lead the way in what you think.
These are cages
really cool to see.
Used to basically, once we did the initial reception, we put them in here for the time being.
And how long would they usually stay in there?
Not long. Just basically once we wrapped up their paperwork and other things.
Okay, cool. This way? Okay. This would probably be like where the lady would sit that would
yeah,
see everyone come in. This place must be pretty spooky if you're in here alone.
Go right.
Oh.
No, left to left. Sorry.
You ever hear anything supernatural in here? Like a ghost?
Unusual sounds. Especially when you're by yourself. Weird noises, weird just sensations. None of them make sense.
I bet.
Especially upstairs. You can open that, look in there if you want.
Now is this where they would wait and?
Yeah, we would receive them. They would come into one of these cells, they'd wait to be processed back here, which is fingerprinting, photographing, and all that. Some of these cells are used for releasing.
Chilly.
They'd wait to be dressed back out and released.
It's definitely chillier in here than I expected. Definitely not much privacy, I get to say that. Wow. Okay. Is this where we go here? And that's probably the same kind?
Yeah, it's almost identical setup.
Yeah, this is where we went through with the haunt. Mm-hmm. It looks totally different with all the lights on.
Right.
Wow. And that's basically just a bigger version of those other ones, right?
It is.
All right.
That big cell is usually where they would wait. Males are usually waiting there to get picked up, transported to one of the jails. These side cells are typically used for people who are misbehaving. The notable exception is number 6 here, which I got shut at the moment. But open it.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, if it's the same as this, that's fine.
Yeah, number 6 just had handrails in case we had somebody in a wheelchair. We put them in there just so they could use the bathroom. But it looks the same as these.
Wow. Now, what can you tell me about the haunt? I mean, there must have been a lot of to go and prepare for that, right?
Yeah, it's weeks worth of preparation, decorating, setting up, organizing volunteers, organizing vendors, food. Ricky Newman Barbecue helped out a lot with that. Just getting everything set up and going. It was months worth of work and weeks worth of actual setup and decoration.
Now, what do they use this for?
All right, so inmates who are already dressed out in uniform, changed out, would be seated here. They talk to pretrial services, look into their existing cases if they had any. And we either clear them to bond out or tell them to go see a judge. They also started some of the initial court process. These 2 cubicles closer to the front were where medical was, or the nurses were, and they would do intake screenings where they would ask a lot of medical history and anything we need to know medically about anyone who's being arrested.
Now, if they had to talk to a lawyer, where would they go for that?
Usually it wasn't here. If an attorney showed up, they weren't here long. So if an attorney showed up, we had rooms in the far back where we could set them up for an in-person attorney visit. But usually they would meet up with an attorney in jail because they would seldom here longer than 8 hours after arrest. So we'd have them out of here pretty quick and have them to the jail, and their attorneys could schedule visits there.
Okay. Is that another hallway? What's that?
This is actually the first property storage room. Anyone who was first arrested got put in here, and their property got put in here for usually the first 2 or 3 days. A lot of people bond out within the first 2 or 3 days of being arrested, so the property was down here for just ease of access. If they were here more than about 3 days, it got pulled upstairs to main property storage. These were the changing and shower rooms where.
Oh, for the female. What would be the proper term? Inmate, or what would be the proper term?
Proper term for anyone who's under arrest was an inmate or arrestee. Arrestee typically applied before they were booked in. Inmate was typically used once they were booked into the jail.
Okay.
And then usually we put females in here to change out. This is where they would.
Can I go in there?
Yeah, sure. They would change out either in the uniform or back into their civilian clothing if they were being released.
Okay. And it's as similar as the female one?
This room was mainly used for uniform storage, and we kept bringing supplies in here from the areas. The main male change-out room was the next one over.
This is really cool. Okay. There's some elevators. Well, that's where we came through. Since it hasn't been used in so long, and they changed it into like a haunt. It looks like it's been abandoned a lot longer than it really has, but still, you can tell.
Actually, this one is over here. I'll show you the old window area, and
Okay.
of course the curtains here for the haunt. Basically, back here was the trustee work area and the storage area while I was running his booking. But we got all kinds of decorations on the wall. Last year it was Jason's hallway, so we narrowed it using pallets. But
Okay. So you basically changed the path to kind of basically make it more different, interesting.
yeah, it's got to be different every year. We can't have have the same thing every year. This was the old visitation section. They put the inmates in here for visitation, and on the other side, the visitors would come in. That was back when it was still a functioning jail.
Oh. So the inmates would be on this side, and then a visitor would be on that side?
Mm-hmm. Yep, yeah, there's access on the other side where the visitors could come in. Yeah, they could see each other, they could talk to each other, but they couldn't really touch each other.
Is it true that some jails or prisons offers conjugal visits?
It's more of a Department of Corrections thing, more of a prison thing. Most jails typically don't run that. We haven't, not in my career. These are the attorney booths. So again, this is, we don't have the window covered up with something, but
This is basically where they would go and talk if they had to.
yeah, if an attorney did show up while they're still in bookend, let's see if this opens. This opens. If an attorney did show up while they're in bookend, the inmate would sit on this side, the attorney would sit on the other side.
Okay, I think I remember this from last year. Yeah, they're walking through here.
Yeah, this was about the end of the tour last year. It's about the last stop.
So for the haunt, who's in charge of it?
That's me.
Oh, so you kind of designed the theming and everything?
We did I did the theming with the help of a lot of people. Theming, setup, just it takes a lot of people to make.
Oh
it
yeah,
fun.
I know. I filmed a couple other haunts, and I talked to some of the other owners, and they were telling me it's weeks and weeks and weeks of preparation and getting like props and everything, and you got to have like a theme narrative so it makes sense.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and we're just doing it all as a volunteer thing. So it's over here is where this is the visitation side / public side where attorneys and visitors would come in, and back again was a functioning jail. And so this was the public side. The side you were just on was the inmate side, and this is our kids area this year.
Yeah, I think I know what that is, because for a while there they had where you get the tickets was like right out here.
Mm-hmm.
For
and then last year this was the exit. You just went out that door and away you went.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at this point we'll head down to the basement.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. I read some news article that they might have the haunt next year somewhere else.
I have no idea. Yeah, we're not done with this one, so I'm not sure what's coming next.
And I heard they're going to take some stuff out of here to put in the local museum.
I don't know. I think they were asking about certain things in here, so I certainly hope they do.
I think so too.
I would like to see them save as much as they can, just because there's so much history in this place. Parts of it dates back to 1962.
Yeah, I think that's when it was built.
Parts of it. Of course, I haven't been here this long, so I couldn't tell you exactly which parts, but there's certain areas where I know are older and other areas I know are newer. All right, so we're gonna head down here, and because I got barricades in place, I'm gonna go in here. Let me get this opened up real quick.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Does the camera system in here still work, or is that all no longer functional?
Doubtful. It's not a functioning facility anymore. It has there's no inmates. It doesn't process anybody. So really no need for the cameras to work at all.
I'm assuming these are men's rooms and bathrooms?
Yeah, this was locked up. This was basically one of the trustee work areas, and then you had, I don't remember what they housed back here back in the day, but
Is that like machinery, I'm assuming, in that one?
No, I'm gonna be honest with you, it was just a storage closet. So, so this was used as as a part of the haunt, I want to say 2 years ago. They ran it through the back part of the basement.
So are we in the basement now?
Yes, we are. Yeah, it was only a little step down. It's kind of weird. It's kind of a split level design, but
you know, this hasn't been not a functioning jail for very long, but I think with the haunt being in here, it makes it look like it's been abandoned longer.
yeah, I think the decorating for the haunt may have looked worse, for sure. It would have just been kind of plain and old looking without it.
Yeah, kind of Walking Dead-ish, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was the idea.
Wow, look at
I'd
that.
say the left is probably your best bet. It kind of dead ends down there, but you're welcome to look inside some of those stuff.
Yeah, just briefly, if you don't mind.
Yeah, how about it?
Oh. So
It's been used as storage for years.
so this would have been a cell for an inmate?
Yeah, this would have been, from the looks of it, I'd say this probably housed, this might have housed about 4 people.
4 people in here?
2 or 4 if I'm gonna guess, and that's just based upon kind of the size of it, and it's got a shower, it's got a toilet in it, so I'm gonna guess and say there was probably 4 bunks on 2 levels on this wall where this cabinet was, though it's long since been removed.
Oh. Oh, you definitely don't want to be in jail and be claustrophobic.
No, it's not a good thing to be in jail.
Not at all.
Down here, it's mostly just storage rooms and all that, and it kind of dead ends here because of the closed gate. So.
Oh. Okay, so this is where we would have came through.
Right.
All right.
And there was a laundry room down here, and they threw a lot of stuff in here when they had to move stuff around for the tour. So.
Yeah, I can see it. And where does that lead to?
It's just a room back there. It's our laundry. It was a laundry and folding room when Bookend ran. Or that's where they stored uniforms.
Yeah, I would say something like some of these doors should go to like the museum. I think gives you when you see those cell doors, it really gives you the feeling of a jail. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No, they don't make them like this anymore. They haven't for a long time.
Wow, this is really cool.
Right.
Now, is this blue for a particular reason, or is it just happen to be blue?
This is the oldest section of it, and I have no idea why it was blue. But you can see there's 4 bunks in here, so I mean, long ago they packed them in tight.
Oh, definitely.
Modern jail standards would not permit such a tight housing situation. This is, yeah, this wouldn't fly today.
I bet it wouldn't. Wow. This is like a bigger version of that?
Yeah, this would have been like probably a lower custody arrangement in here, because you see each one of these little shelves and coat hook arrangements would have been for probably 2 bunks each. The bunks are long since gone, but I would say if I did 2, 4, 6, 8, I don't know, they could have crammed, I don't know what the housing arrangement would have been in here, but it could have been 12 people from the looks of it. Just a wild guess, but.
Yeah. Wow, I was trying to take this all in. This is so much. And I'm assuming that's probably the same as that last one.
The same setup as the last one. And then these over here are the more restrictive housing areas.
Is these ones for like real dangerous ones, or?
It would have, unless it was just general pop because of housing constraints, they might have probably put more difficult inmates in here, and the plexiglass is probably in there to prevent spitting or throwing liquids or anything else, or at least limit it, because it covers almost all of the bars.
And these are probably just more jail cells?
Yes. There you go. Got some stuff in it.
Okay. I was amazed at how heavy these things are.
Yeah, that's probably the better part of 300 pounds with those all hinges. This is basically the air handler and stuff.
Oh, for the air conditioning unit.
Yeah. Now that's the pilot chase.
So, how far does that go?
That one goes down and all the way around. You're welcome to go in there as deep as you want.
Oh.
Just watch your step. There's a lot of
They're very Shawshank or Alcatraz vibes. Wow.
yeah, so the way these old systems worked was this pipe chase ran behind every wall where toilets and sinks were. This provided access for maintenance back here to work on lighting, wiring, and everything else without having to actually be in contact with the inmates. The deputies back in the day, we would, if they were smoking or doing other things they weren't supposed to be doing in the cells, we would sneak back here where through the air vents or anything else we could actually see them or hear them. So we would see them or observe them doing something they weren't supposed to be doing and call it on the radio and be like, hey, so-and-so's doing this.
So would you like be peeking through here?
Yeah, there was a toilet actually that backed up to that. So a lot of times they peek up here through where the night light is, just so they can see in there. Again, if you were clever and quiet about it, they may never even have known you were here.
Now, in that one movie with Clint Eastwood, Alcatraz, one of the ways they think they broke out was coming through something like this. Do you think they could have done the same thing back in the day here?
I mean, it's theoretically possible. I'm not aware of if it was ever accomplished or not.
Oh, do you know of anyone who ever escaped from here?
No, I don't know the history that well.
Okay, and then that leads to another little door.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Probably back up out here at this point.
Yeah, this is definitely something. I've never seen something like this in the haunt a few times. It looked like I always thought it had something to do with the utilities.
Yeah, pretty much all the cells in this jail have pipe chases like this. This one's much bigger than the other ones. They're usually not this deep. But this one wraps around all the cells.
I'm just amazed how cool it is back here. I would think it'd be a lot hotter.
And the AC works good. So,
Okay. I'm gonna turn this off so we can walk out of here better.
yeah, just watch your step. There's a lot of sewer pipes. We're back. This is the administration side. I'll get you back upstairs. We go through ISO on the second floor.
Okay. This place is huge. A lot bigger than I thought.
Yeah, they built a lot of this in the 70s. I want to say this was mostly built in the 70s. The oldest parts of the jail, of course, 10 plus years earlier. We'll go up here. But this used to be our command center. It started life as, I want to say, the courthouse before they built a huge one across the street. And then this became the Sheriff's Office Command Center. And then I want to say in 2010 maybe, they opened up the new Sheriff's Operations Center and pulled all the command functions out here.
So where is the inmates held now that would have been held here?
When they shut this down in 2000, at the same time they opened up the South County Jail. Basically in the back. These two cells are for the most part as they are, but you're going to back up into the haunt if we, that's part of the haunt.
I'm just going to peek around the corner, if you don't mind. Okay. Okay, I know where we are. Oh.
But you might actually go straight forward and might be able to get into this large cell quad here. So left right here. Left again. Right here.
Oh.
So I would go left. This is largely untouched and we didn't decorate it much at all. We just have some scarers in here, but we don't have we decorate it too much.
Now, the scare actors, I heard that they're mainly employees who work here with you, right? That volunteer?
Well, we actually got a mixture of people that work here, and then we've got explorers and people from Explorer programs. We also got a couple of high school kids who come in and volunteer as well. So.
Yeah, I see all the different names carved in there.
Yeah, wait till you see the ISO side. You'll like it. There's quite a bit of carving in there.
Wow. This is really cool, interesting, very, very sad if you think about it. I mean, being in jail is not a good thing, but there's a lot of history here.
All right, so we'll go right. This is the 4-light hallway here.
So you have Dagger Mike. That's what that one's called.
Yes.
I seen it. I seen that one at Spirit Halloween.
Yeah, he's I guess he's reaching the end of his life. He's getting stuck now, so he's not a happy camper.
Yeah, that's one seems to break down at the Spirit Halloween store a lot.
I know, it's such a cool prop. It's just struggling to survive.
Now what would be in here?
Well, we actually installed this for the haunt. It was just a hole, and then it's hard to squeeze through. There's a green screen room in here if you want to look at.
Just a little.
I'm assuming they did some kind of educational or programming in here or something.
Oh, yeah.
And then this was also, I think, a trustee housing area. Because in the room back here, there's like a bunk room and some showers and stuff.
Now you said this used to be the courthouse too?
Yeah, at one point in time.
So judges were here hearing cases?
I don't know. I don't think that happened in here. I think this had more to do with the jail. But again, I'm just guessing at this point.
Now, did the sheriff ever have an office here?
Yes. When the sheriff, before we opened up the current command center, his main office was upstairs on the second floor. And then, he still maintains an office in Bartow.
And what's behind here?
Bunk room and...
Oh, wow. Okay. Why? What's the story behind this mural here?
I want to say that's the bathroom. And then I think some trustees slept in here. And the shower, I think, on the other side. I don't know the story behind them being allowed to paint it, though. I mean, obviously there's a reason for it. I don't know the backstory.
Very cool, though. Now, trustee, what do you mean? What do they do?
All right, so a trustee is as an inmate in the jail that usually has lower charges, or they're sentenced to just county time, not prison, and they're allowed to work in exchange for increased gain time, which shortens the sentence. And so, in our current situation, they'll dress them in brown uniforms, which distinguishes them from the normal inmate, where a male inmate would wear orange, or a female would wear blue. And they have certain job assignments, usually things to do with cleaning up, or food preparation, or
which way
grounds.
Should we go?
Let's go left. Yeah, let's go this way. Yeah, groundskeeping and just really a lot of the functions of the jail. This is another pipe chase, albeit a small one. Again, they removed most of the sewer piping just because it was very old iron pipe that was just rotting away.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, you don't keep things up, it definitely deteriorates quickly.
Yeah, when you get an old facility, maintenance is putting in a lot of work. Actually, I'd let you look in. There's some other ones though we can look in. I don't know if this one's any good. The isolation area straight ahead.
Oh. Okay, I remember this section. Yeah, this is where we come up to the steps. Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna go in there. So this was the control room for most of the areas of the second floor. It is my sincere hope they keep this control panel somewhere, because that thing is, you just don't see things like that anymore.
No, you don't. Definitely dated, but cool.
And it's all very analog, all just behind that panel is just a mass of wires that, God forbid, you had to ever untangle it and figure it out.
Takes someone a lot smarter than me. But make sure you talk to someone at that museum. Maybe they'll take this.
I would hope so.
And if they're just going to throw it out, maybe they'll let someone like you take it.
I don't know where I put it, but hey.
Hey, store it, and maybe there's a policeman or prison museum that might want it.
Who knows?
Now, are you a police officer?
I'm a deputy.
Okay.
So let me take a look.
I just wanted to ask that, because I don't want to assume unless I asked.
Well, everyone at the Sheriff's Office is deputies. I work in the Department of Detention. We got guys out on the road.
And this is another one of those pipe chases?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the main pipe chase for the isolation area.
Is that pretty big?
I don't know. We've been in here for a while.
Would it be worth, you think, peeking down in there?
I won't go too deep in that one. There's a lot more trip hazards and whatnot in there. So
I'm not going to, actually, but yeah, okay. Yeah, and Spearmint's the same. Boy, this would be spooky at night by myself.
and this is why a lot of people don't like going up here by themselves.
No, I can see why. And trust me, I believe in ghosts, so I know they're around. Now, would this be isolation?
This is one of the cells, but the main ISO area. Or is this? No, this is the chapel. I forgot about this.
Now, would they have access to a priest or someone that they had to talk to? How'd that go?
Usually how it goes down is we have ministers that come in, volunteers from churches and other religious organizations, and we get a very steady flow of them. They come in on a daily or semi-daily basis almost, and they minister to the inmates. It's strictly on a volunteer basis. They come voluntarily. The inmates, if they want to participate, it's voluntary as well.
Now, what do they want, like a rabbi or an imam?
We can actually have those brought in. Usually what they'll do is most people who practice either Islam or Judaism usually have somebody in mind. So we can schedule professional visits for them where the minister can come in and have some time with them. And they're allowed to do that very frequently as well. So,
do you have a rat problem here?
Yes, there have been rats in here. You can look at the pipe chases, the way the facility is structured. So vermin control was a
I bet it's a problem.
Something we had to deal with. So just keeping the place as clean as possible, traps, that kind of stuff, kept the rat population as manageable as possible. These were the showers for the ISO area. So basically, they take the inmate out of the cell, put them in the shower, lock them in the shower. Once the shower time is done, get them out, bring them back in here. Some of these open, so.
Now, who would generally be in this section? Would it be this really violent ones?
Yeah, usually your biggest patients. Yeah, your worst behavioral problems would have been in here. Either people with very severe, very heinous charges that had to be protected from any and all other inmates, or people who were just very dangerous.
What about high-profile people?
Sometimes they would go in here, and that would fit under the category of someone who had to be protected from all their inmates due to either their status or their charges.
Wow, there is some. How would they have gotten writing all the way up there, I wonder?
Yeah, the writing is something else. These people just didn't have anything better to do, but just sit in there and carve stuff.
Looks like this one's from 1994. Nate Dog Fark, I think. I don't know. I'm amazed they can get all the way up to the ceiling.
Yeah, I impressed me too.
Look at all the different writing here. All of it might not show on camera, but there's quite a bit here. The name and scratches, tic-tac-toe. Wow. Let's see if I can turn this down a little bit. This might be a little too bright for you guys to see that. This is cool. See some of the different FBI. I do not kill Lane. Robinson. Benny Gonzalez and Geneva Gonzalez. Married to 2000. So yeah, there's just a lot just in here alone. This place is really
Here are the ones they haven't shut. These used to be mostly open. Nuts. Yeah, we should get that open. Yeah, that one's locked, unfortunately. But check out the door, like look to your left there.
Oh.
Snapshot in time.
Look at that. It's actually not too bad. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of it's music, pop culture references from the 90s. I mean, you down with OPP?
Yeah, like Tupac and stuff.
Yeah.
These actually are pretty good, some of them, surprisingly. Now, if they were caught doing this, would they face any extra punishment, or?
Theoretically, they could, but obviously they did quite a bit, so. But no, so.
Oh yeah, I see OPP. I'm down with OPP.
Yep. Yeah, no, this, our current situation in our jail, we wouldn't tolerate people carving into stuff that's destruction of county property, so yeah, there would be disciplinary repercussions, and depending on the extent of the damage, possibly criminal charges.
Of course, they probably didn't really care.
No, guys who are in here probably weren't too worried about another misdemeanor charge, and they didn't have much in the way of privileges because most of them were in here. A lot of them, I'd say, were in here for behavioral issues. Therefore, that really wasn't much further down the fall. So.
Yeah, they probably think there's not much more you could do to them.
Yeah, unfortunately, you get some people that are like that. They just don't care. So.
See, something like this should be saved for a museum.
I would agree with you. I like that door. It's one of my favorites.
Or at least have someone take some like detailed snapshots, of it. This one's not as much. Let's see if there's any in here. Wow.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool.
What a chance of one day running for president. I don't think that's going to happen. Wow. Now, would it be both male and female in here?
No, this would be strictly single gender in here. You go to great lengths to keep males and female inmates separate from each other for, well, I imagine a lot of obvious reasons. aside from the fact they'd be, engaging in sexual activities, you also would have to worry about exploitation of women and some of the men. So, not to mention violence. So, we don't permit both genders of inmates to commingle in any fashion. They're kept very carefully separate from each other.
That is cool. Now, how do you handle inmates that are transgender?
Well, currently, as our policy stands, we go off of, we go based upon what their current status is. So if you have an inmate that's all male in terms of anatomy, then he would be placed with males unless he needs to be placed in protective custody, which they can apply for. Any inmate that's completed transition and has completed all their surgery, reassignment surgeries, will be housed with the gender they're now part of. The inmates that are kind of in between, we've usually got a few of them that kind of fit in that category, and we'll typically house those people together so they're not by themselves. But mainly it's really just about protecting them from other members of the inmate population. Some of them don't particularly like folks that are transgender. Others just want to do things with them they're not supposed to, so we try to keep them protected and separate from them to the best of their ability without being punitive.
Are those functioning elevators?
Not anymore. They used to be. Alright, so to be honest with you, I got enough time. I can get you up to the 3rd floor real quick if I can get one of these keys to work.
Where do we go for there?
The stairwell to use. Let's go this way.
This way?
Yeah. Stuff like
Wow. Has there ever been any celebrities that been a guest here?
This particular jail, I can't remember, but we've had a few celebrities. We've had, I want to say we had R. Kelly at one point back in the early 2000s, and what was his name? Kevin Gates. He was in our jail a few years ago for that incident during a concert where he kicked some girl. He spent a few months with us for that. Can't think of anyone else at the moment.
And this was part of the haunt. Was this year or before?
This is this year.
Yeah, I thought so. This is where Freddy is?
This is where Freddy is.
Yeah, I thought so. This looks so different with all the lights on.
I know, it's kind of wild. That's part of how we transform it.
Cool.
So this area was the kitchen for the old jail. And we, of course,
Right here?
transformed it into a maze.
Now, where would the inmates typically eat?
They were usually fed in their cell areas or in their little day room areas of their cells. So the food that was prepared here was just brought out to the different parts of the jail. And we do a similar thing now. We prepare food in the kitchen, we bring it to the dorms and to the population areas, and the inmates will sit out. They'll either be fed, depending on the time of day, they'll either be fed in their cells or they will be fed out in the open day room area.
And what would be a typical meal?
It varies. I can't even remember half of it, but we have a nutritionist and we have dietitians that go over all of it, make sure the caloric intake's proper, the nutritional balance is proper. It's not tasty, but it feeds people. So.
And then how do they handle if they have allergies or religious things that prevent them from eating certain things?
Medical provides exemptions for allergies, and they document and they tell us what a person can or can't have if they have problems. This is the maze. We'll just cut through this.
Oh, okay.
So they'll document whether and tell us whether somebody has something they can or cannot have. I'll head out this way. Religious exemptions get cleared through the jail minister, not minister, but the chaplain. I'm sorry, the counselor. I'm getting my terminology mixed up. But the counselor basically verifies their circumstances, and if he approves it, then they can have a special meal prepared for them that we're actually going to go up.
Oh,
The
okay.
special meal, I got to clear this, so you have to give me a minute.
Oh.
The special meal.
Okay. So there's an emergency. This is where they would come.
Yeah, these were basically only fire exits or emergency exits. We did not, these were not typically used for inmate movement.
Just can't open it. It had to be unlocked.
This one has to be unlocked. So yeah, it was not a normal thing to move inmates through here.
Those are quite some big keys you have to use.
Oh, you have a kid and... Dang. Could have sworn this opened all of this. Uh-oh. Not all the keys are here anymore. They pulled a lot of them when they shut it, when everything shut down. I can't promise you this is going to work. But we don't have any need to be up on the 3rd floor, so at least not for the haunt, so we don't have the heat.
You think they'll go up there though to check on it before they knock everything down?
Hmm?
You think they'll inspect everything before they knock this place down?
I have no idea. I don't know the actual, no, we're out of gas. I don't know the actual procedure they're going to follow for shutting everything down and calling it. So
if we were able to go in there, what would we have seen?
it would look a lot like the cell banks on the 2nd floor. So actually, I'll take you down one that's not too decorated. So it'll at least kind of look the same. The 3rd floor is almost all the same.
Okay. So has anyone else requested to do what I'm doing?
No, you were the only person I know of who asked. So, I mean, a few of the news organizations came in.
Which way should we go?
Left. And then we're going to like hook around to the left here.
Okay.
Because otherwise, we'll just end up back in the maze.
Oh, this way?
Right.
Okay.
All right, go left. I guess we can go past the bleeding wall if you want. So we'll go
Okay.
into the red area here.
Yeah, where's that? Oh, yeah, that's actually, I think this is just what I was about to ask about. Yes, this is probably the coolest one. I love this. And I think this is the first time, this is the first time they showed this in the haunt?
Yeah, we've never had a bleeding wall before, or really played around with liquids in any fashion. It was definitely an experiment.
Wow.
And we're gonna actually fire this thing up again tonight and get these tanks topped off with more of this fun red liquid we have and let it flow.
Now, this was all put here just for the haunt?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, this was just a hallway. So this whole bridge and tank assembly and this entire sectional wall here didn't exist.
Wow.
So yeah, we set all this in place.
Yeah, I thought this part was so cool. Was this your idea?
This one came from one of the guys that works out at the Weekender program. He's been one of the geniuses behind our designs, and he just said, "I want a bleeding wall," and I said, "Okay."
Definitely a cool idea.
And yeah, you got it sits somewhere in my mind between, I don't know, I think of the video game Doom when I think of this. So.
Yeah, I think of like Resident Evil, or there's this one video game I played when I was a kid. I don't remember the name of it at the moment, but you basically were like a mercenary guy. When he would kill people, he would walk through their blood. He would like do like footsteps of blood, like right after.
Yeah, that one I That one I didn't know, but yeah,
That's cool.
It's a nice setup. So actually, I have to video of that myself tonight. So. Obviously, our decorations are the spray painting on the walls, part of our decorations, but the white cream cheese color paint you see here is how this place just looked. Albeit a little dingier than you probably did when it was open, but
Yeah.
and with it being closed for years, the lighting in here is bad, and that's part of the appeal of it now.
Wow.
Some kind of exhaust fan. I'm not even sure why that was there.
You know, some of these are a little bit different from another.
Yeah, this one looks like they installed a shower at a later time, like after it was constructed, because that's a stainless steel shower assembly. And like I said, I'm going to say this was added. That wasn't there when the cell was put in.
Wow. Okay.
All right, so we'll go right once we get to this black thing here. That's like your step. There's hoses.
Now this way?
Yep. Yeah, we were here, what, when we
Yeah.
passed it the first time, so.
Yeah, I recognize that. Cool.
All right, so we'll go
Okay.
left.
Yeah, an article I read, it was the sheriff here the other day?
Yeah, he was. I think he was here on Thursday.
Because I seen I read a local Fox affiliate, and they had a picture of him walking around. I guess if I read correctly, he started here? Do you know?
Yeah, he had some history in this place, but not a lot. He was on the roadside most of the time, but everyone that worked for the agency was here on a fairly frequent basis. Let's see. Let's go this way.
Oh, yeah.
Say.
That's where the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy is.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah, it was nice having a guy who was just absolutely huge to play his Leatherface.
Yeah, he looks just like him, too.
Yep, I invited him back. I begged him and his family to come in again so we could, just so we could get him.
Well, you did a lot of extra work in there, I could see.
Yeah, I'm trying to find, this is only about half the size it currently is because of plyboard and other stuff we put in for decoration. So I'm trying to find one of these I know has not been messed with too much. Basically what you had on, these were the more general population housing areas, and pretty much how this worked was, these were the sleeping cells, which as you see was 6 each, and then there's another one just like it down to your left. And so once the inmates were locked down, these doors would shut and they'd be locked in here at nighttime.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you can't be shy pooping, I know that.
You what? Oh, no, you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't be a shy pooper.
No, people would basically just try to give each other the courtesy of kind of looking away or whatever. In here, during daytime hours, they would open those doors and let the inmates come into here, which is basically a day room. And you just watch your step, but you've got tables on both sides. And this is where the inmates would eat or just congregate. They had showers on the side. So when they had their time out, it was over here.
Yeah, you could tell he spent a lot of time here.
Yeah, they would have to paint those tables very frequently just because even if they weren't deliberately scraping the paint off, just friction and contact would wear the paint off of them.
Wow.
Yeah, you just have to imagine it with the floorboard not being here. This is normally just open.
It would be great. One of these would be saved for a museum.
Yeah, I mean, they're quite a bit of very substantial steel, so same thing with these bars. So whatever they don't, I imagine, will be salvaged as scrap material.
Yeah, I watch dumpster diver videos on YouTube, and you'd be amazed at how much scrap metal they just toss out. Yeah, that'd be basically the other. That's how it would feel to be in here. Wow.
Yeah, they're very substantial. You're not going to kick through them, cut through them, nothing. They're just, without heavy equipment, you're just not going to get through those. So they're very substantial.
Now, do you know why they had the more grate up here than not down here? Is there a particular reason?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. I know there was a reason. I don't think that grate was always there. I think that got added. I'm trying to think of why they did it, though. Maybe it was just to limit stuff being thrown from the top down below.
Okay. Wow.
Watch how there's a wood screw right there shutting out.
Okay.
This, for the most part, everything over here looks just like this, and the third floor actually looks just like this as well. So the third floor is just this, with the exception of an isolation area that's just like the one you walk through. So there's not too much else that's different here that I'm thinking of.
Now, is this haunt stuff going to go in storage just in case you need it, or?
We're going to figure out something to do with it, because if we end up doing something else, it would be nice to be able to not have to buy everything again.
Wow, okay. It's basically the same. Wow. Awesome. Is that like a control box or something, you think?
Yeah, that is this what controls? God, I never worked here when it was open, so I don't remember exactly what this controlled.
Now, were these opened by hand, or was there like a locking mechanism that they opened from somewhere else?
There's actually a large hand crank, and it's over here on the outside. I don't know if I got the keys to open this anymore, but it's behind that barricade.
Hopefully they also save those keys for the museum too.
Oh yeah, there's still plenty of these keys left. Basically behind one. Somewhere. Yeah, let's head this way. I'll show one of these to you. There you go. Here's another pipe chase. This one's a little more complete.
So that's what that is. Okay. Like I said, I've never seen them during the haunt, and I thought they had something to do with utilities, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a little too narrow and a little too hazardous in there to take guests through, and we're not trying to bring on a bunch of lawsuits that'll cost us everything we've tried to give the United Way.
Wow.
Now, we'll show you one more thing when we're done looking in there. This metal plate that runs along the floor you're about to step on, that is the expansion line. the old jail is on this side.
So this is the old
This
side.
is the old jail, as Sheriff Judd likes to call it,
From 62.
from 62. And then the main wall, I think, was somewhere around where this joint was, and they just tore it out and then built this way.
Oh, so there used to be a wall here.
There used to be a wall here. So they tore all this out, and everything over here, I think it's from the 70s, from the first expansion of this facility, including the third floor, which I don't believe the third floor existed, so.
They got a lot of writing in here too.
There used to be a holding cage in this hallway right here. And basically, if inmates were being pulled out to go to court or be moved or something else, they would all be placed in this. It was just a big open area with a few benches in it. So if they sat in here for a little while, they would just kind of get busy doing stuff. So, and I guess that's where this graffiti comes from.
Yeah, this is another thing I hope they take a lot of pictures of. That is
So,
cool.
The crank assembly I was telling you about is down here.
And this is another one of those pipe chases, I'm assuming?
That's another
Okay.
pipe chase. Yeah, this is actually what's left of one of the cage assemblies right here.
There, here.
Right here, actually. They pulled a lot of it out and repurposed it, but this would have gone to the right quite a bit. I'd say another 20 feet before it terminated, and would have just made a box with a door. And this is where they would have put people temporarily when they were about to move them to court or send them downstairs or move them to Central County Jail, which was open for a lot of the time this place.
And that's more jail cells, I'm assuming?
Over there, yes.
Okay.
So basically inside of this box right here, that's how those sliding doors in those cells worked. There was a big hand crank in there that you just turned and it would slide all the doors shut or all the doors open.
Cool. Now, some of these are broken. Did you do that for the haunt, or was that?
No, I think somebody else is up here training or something. We've had SWAT and a few other entities up here conducting trainings and stuff, so I think that might have been from them, but.
And this hallway is basically like the one we just went down?
Mm-hmm. These are all about the same. Actually, they're all pretty much exactly the same.
Wow. Okay, I know where we are.
Yep.
So, which way do we go now?
If you're good, you mind if we start winding down? Because I gotta get to work. It's about
Yeah.
time to get started.
Yeah, it's fine. Which way we head?
This way is the quickest way to get back down to where you came from.
Okay. I appreciate you showing this. This is really cool. And I just wish more people was interested to see this because it's history and it really should be documented.
Yeah, no, this place it's an impressive place.
And I hope they save as much as possible.
Yeah, I agree.
Which way?
Right.
Oh.
And work our way out back where we came out and get you back downstairs to book in. Go right here.
No, yeah.
It was funny because we ran this last year, the crowds came down the stairwell. This year they're going up. There's only so many paths you can take through here, so we just simply
Yeah, you kind of had to reuse some of them.
right. So I'd say 60% of the ground that you covered as part of the haunted jail tour this year was also the ground you covered last year.
Is this where we go?
Well, that's to the basement.
Oh.
So you go left.
Yeah, good you're here because I have no idea where I'm going.
People who aren't familiar with this place that come up here to help out with this, or it's not uncommon to get lost on the second floor for a while.
There's a lot of it looks generally the same.
All right, so just slide through the left of this and watch out for that road barricade.
Okay, this was here or there. This was really cool. And I'll have this on YouTube pretty soon.
Okay.
I'm sure there's going to be others who's going to want to see it. And if any of them are interested, just let them know. It will be on there for them to check it out.
Okay.
Okay. Wow. All right. Oops. Well, awesome. Thank you. This was definitely an education.
Yeah.
Oh, I was supposed to go there. Okay. All right, we just completed it. Thanks again to the Polk County Florida Sheriff's Office for giving me a tour of the place, and especially to the deputy that gave it. I'm not going to say his name just in case he doesn't want it, but thank you. I really appreciate it. That was very interesting, very cool. Very sad though, because I mean, you're not in jail for any happy reasons. So this definitely wasn't a happy place, but there's so much history there, and look around, you see all those different writings on the wall, and there was a lot more that I wasn't able to show you. Either there's just too much to show, or there was in parts of the jail we didn't actually go. But yeah, it's just amazing to me what that place looked like. And that place would be spooky if you were in there by yourself, or if all the lights was off. And he's right, that's like a maze. So I would have no idea where I was going if he wasn't there showing me around. But yeah, it basically gives you an idea what it was like to be an inmate, especially in an older facility, an older jail. Yeah, it definitely was creepy. Very historically interesting. It was cool to see the haunt too, especially during the light. You see different aspects and just different things you don't see when you're walking through there when it's so dark, because you don't get a lot of time to look around when you go into these haunts. So to be able to look around a bit more and look at different like props and decorations, and yeah, and there's things I always wondered about in there, like those different like pipe hallways. I always thought they were for utilities, but be able to go down in one, yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I never really got a chance to do anything like this before, but to explore a former jail, I'm not quite sure calling this abandoned would fit it, because it's technically not an abandoned building. They still use it for storage and for haunts every year, but it is abandoned with regard to its original purpose, which was a jail. But yeah, it was very interesting to be able to see that. And like I said, I think he said I was like the only one to come in here and film a tour, which is a shame because there's a lot of history there. But I heard, I'll put an article below that I read this in, that the local history museum may take a few things in there to put in their museum, which I really hope, because a lot of that stuff really needs to be preserved. It's just history, and to be ashamed if this goes to the dump. So hopefully they do that, especially as much of those markings and those doors. And I hope someone goes in there and takes some really detailed pictures of all that writing and carving in the walls, because I think that should be saved. But yeah, thanks again to the Polk County Sheriff Office. They were very kind to do this. The deputy was very kind to do this. And every year I've came here for the haunts, they've always been extremely professional and kind, and they do a really good job. Hopefully they'll be able to continue the haunts and their location. I heard they might be doing that, but nothing's set in stone, so we will see. But it was definitely always one of my favorite haunts was coming here. Unfortunately, it's not going to be happening anymore, which is a shame, because it's a really cool building and very unique opportunity. Because most jails, I mean, they're used as jails. You can't do this. You can't just walk in here and get a tour or film a haunt. And a lot of times when they're decommissioned, they don't just sit like this one has been. So this is definitely a unique place with a unique opportunity, and I'm very glad I got a chance to walk around there and see it. It was really cool. But I'll put a link below to all the haunts I filmed here, a playlist, and an article that they're talking about tearing this place down. I'm hoping to find out when they're going to do it, so I can be here and maybe show some of it. But I don't know. It all depends if I hear about it before it happens. This is actually a good sized building, so I don't know if they're going to use a wrecking ball here or what. I don't think they're going to use like explosives, because it's not big enough for that, but probably a wrecking ball. But be very sad to see. But hopefully I can get a chance to film it and show you the very end. Now across there, that's the courthouse, the big one. They used to have, and I've showed it before, the old courthouse, which is now the Polk County History Museum, which I filmed pretty extensively over the years here in Bartow. Actually, I probably won't be able to see it very well, but it's right there. So that's like the old courthouse. Then that stopped being a courthouse is when they made that building right there. So there's definitely been a lot of changes. Bartow is a very beautiful city. I've been here many times. There's a lot of history here because, if I remember correctly, it's the county seat, I guess you could say. So, yeah, but this is, let me turn you around from me so you can see. But this is basically the parking lot. Normally you wouldn't park here unless you're in law enforcement. That's where we came in right there. And this is where they've had different things for the haunt, which is, today is the last day for it. I'll show this just very little bit, then I get going. But this building is a lot bigger than you think. Doesn't look very big from the outside, but it is definitely bigger than you think. And when they've had the haunt, they had different paths, different entrances and exits. And here's that sign again for the haunt itself. I'll show it. Yeah, the Polk County Florida does have, Sheriff's Office does have like a TikTok and YouTube channel, Instagram, X/Facebook, and then all that stuff. But hopefully they'll be able to do this again next year. All right, I'm going to get going. Have a little bit of a drive home. I'm going to try to get this up as soon as possible. All right, any comments, questions, let me know. Thank you for watching. Bye, everybody. Bye.